is on whale. Due to his previous encounter with this whale, he lost his own leg, left leg, and that's why he keeps his the same leg of whale's bone, because whale has taken something out of his body, and that's why he has decided that I will always keep a whale's bone in my foot. So we can understand the psyche of this person. He thinks that whales bones or whales have always the place in my feet, as my feet, and he metaphored feet, or he metaphored whaleship as his own feet. He is the autocrat of the ship. He does not listen anyone. He is very angry, very furious, and he is the only person who makes decision on the ship. He is like autocrat of the ship, or king of the ship, we can say. The harmony of Pickwood contradicts the racially divided land. Starbuck represents New England, depends on Quick from South Sea. Stubb represents West America. Flask represents the South and controls the depends upon Duggo. Pickwood is socially, racially harmonized place which is very necessary to survive at the sea. So Pickwood is kind of racial unity, racial or racially harmonized place, socially harmonized place where from different parts people are over there, and this is the only place where all can survive together, because while going to sea there is nothing like land, there is nothing like land discrimination, and so all the persons from different land, from different country and continent get together in the same ship, and this is a symbolized as racially harmonized place or socially harmonized place. Ismail's first post was there on the masthead to see the whales. Ismail is always on the masthead, on the top of masthead, to see whether any whale he can find out or not. Then Ahab proclaimed that whosoever of you raises me a white-headed whale with a wrinkled brow and a crooked jaw, he shall have this gold avance. Ismail has announced a gift, a prize, you can say, for the person who will first see the whale in the sea. He has announced a doubloon for the person who will see the whale in the sea first. After drinking with shipmates, he proclaimed that God will hunt us if we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death. So he is the firm believer that Moby Dick should be killed, and he is a devil kind of person for Moby Dick too. Moby Dick is the whale. He does not have any personal relation, he does not have any personal intention, prejudices to kill anyone, but whosoever comes into the field of sea, whosoever comes into the kingdom of whale, he is going to kill that person. Ismail then describes the superstitions regarding the white whale. Lots of superstitions were there about this white whale in the sea, that sometimes some people see white whale, sometimes some people says it is just an illusion. There is nothing like white whale over there. White whale is not at all there in the sea. So it is a talk like ghost and witches. So it is a supernatural power. Someone believes in that, someone does not believe in the white whale. It is a myth also, some people says. It can be anywhere, anytime, like omnipresent. These are the myths for the white whale, that white whale can be anywhere. It is omnipresent. We can see simultaneously the same white whale all over the sea in many places. It is immortal. No one can kill it. Now the time came to launch the harpoon boats in the sea, because they've seen something. They've seen the signs of whale. It is coming over there. The Pickwood encountered many other ships while moving ahead. They met many ships like Delight, like Rodney Woo, But what happened? Everyone has made them aware that this is not something very easy task to kill a Moby Dick, but Ahab was firm, was determined in his own way to kill Moby Dick, and that's why he neglected, he avoided each and everyone's advice, and he go ahead. Ahab constantly inquires about Moby Dick and asks about it to the every captain he encountered. The only aim, the only purpose we can say for Ahab in his life is Moby Dick only, and that's why he assembles each and everyone, sailors, that their personal motive or their purpose for this voyage is just to kill the whale, nothing else. And each and everyone have taken a vow, taken an oath to kill the Moby Dick. Sometimes Starbuck said that it is not an easy task to kill Moby Dick. Sometimes Starbuck said that we should not kill Moby Dick. This is your personal revenge, not all of the sailors' revenge. But Ahab neglected, Ahab have avoided this, and Ahab is continued in his own journey. Ahab believes in fate as it is a result of something planned out. While sailing towards Java, Daggoo had seen Moby Dick, but it was a squid, a bad omen, and a food of a whale. So Quick believed it a good omen. Then Ismail moved on towards discussion of whale's biological entity and its structures. Here we can see the speciality of Herman Melville's to describe fishing business, types of whales, types of fishes, and many more anatomical terms regarding the whale. Once while whaling Testago has been saved by Quick. Then while sailing Pickwood encountered the Samuel Enderby, a ship of London with captain named Boomer. Boomer lost his arm during the encounter with Moby Dick, same as Ahab lost his own leg during the encounter with Moby Dick. Day by day, Pickwood is killing whales, but Captain Ahab is only interested in Moby Dick. His final purpose, his final motto is only Moby Dick and nothing else. Ahab heard the prophecy of this death from Fidallah, that he must see two heiresses before his death, means two body who are dead before his death, one not made by mortal hands, one made of wood from America. Ahab became free and tension free, as it will not be possible on the boat, because he will be killed only after the coffin he will see, which is made up from wood of America and which is not possible in the sea. Fidallah also told that he himself will die before Ahab and only Ham can kill the Ahab. It was a prophecy of Fidallah. The next day, a typhoon caught Pickwood and one of the harpoon boats had been destroyed by it. So now the bad days for Pickwood has begun. Stubb was saying the Flash that Ahab is pushing them in more dangers just to serve his own selfish purpose and finding the Moby Dick. On the another day, they lost life boy. So Starbuck continuously, consequently, subsequently saying that we should stop this voyage, we should not go in search of Moby Dick. It is mythical character, or if it is there, it will surely kill us. And this contradiction goes in a fighting of Ahab and Ismail. So they have to replace the lifebuoy with Quick's coffin. Pickwood is still in search of Moby Dick. It encounters Rachel, the other ship. Captain Gardiner climbed on the ship of Ahab and begged to help him in finding his son. Captain Gardiner has lost his own son during this journey towards the whale, towards finding the whale. He lost his son's boat while they were chasing the white whale. So this white whale has disturbed each and everyone. He has taken someone's leg, he has taken someone's hand, and he has taken someone's son. That gives Ahab the sign of optimism for the quest. Instead of being discouraged, Ahab got the sign that yes, Moby Dick should be somewhere over here, might be somewhere over here, and this optimism led his to be firm, to be determined. Ahab started passing his much time on the deck of the boat. Ahab decided that he must be fast to watch the Moby Dick. With the help of Starbuck, he got up the mainmast, where a black hawk took his hat, which can be considered as a bad omen by Ismail. When he was on the top of the mast, a hawk came and it took the hat of that person. In 133 chapter, Ahab can smell Moby Dick and climb down the royal mast. This is how Ahab won the doubloon himself, because he has announced that whosoever will see Moby Dick first and whosoever will see Moby Dick first will get this doubloon, and this is how Ahab himself got this doubloon. When Moby Dick appeared finally on the surfaces, it started harming the crews and the boat. Moby Dick moved away from the Pickwick with a very fast speed, and now the fighting starts. Now the crash starts between Moby Dick and Ahab. On the other day also, Ahab is firm on his decision about chasing the Moby Dick, though they had lost one boat. Again Ahab saw Moby Dick and tried to attack on its head. So for 3 days continuously Ahab was fighting with Moby Dick. He is not discouraged, he is not disheartened, but as the days are passing, he is being more firm, more confident and more determined in killing this Moby Dick. It also kills Ahab's crew members. He is losing, he is wasting his own sailors in this. At last, it turns toward Ahab's boat and his whalebone leg is snapped in the mishap. Returning to the Pickwick, Ahab had seen that Fedallah had drowned. So now the prophecy is going to be right, because Fedallah has already gone, and Fedallah has said that Ahab will die after the death of his own self. Now Fedallah has gone, that means Ahab is going to die. Starbuck then tried to stop Ahab. Starbuck has said many times, has stopped many times Ahab that this is not the work we should do, this is not the journey we should go. But Ahab was firm about pursuing the whale. Ahab was confirmed about killing the whale. He will not going to return without killing the whale. We can see over here a boat and a whale. We can see that the white whale has already trying to swallow a boat, and the boat is full of, the whole boat is over there in his mouth, and some sailors are trying to kill the Moby Dick. This is a picture of climax of Moby Dick. Ahab had seen that Moby Dick damaged 2 other boats, yet he remained intact. He was more sure that I am going to kill the Moby Dick, and this is how we can see the confidence of Ahab is appreciable. The boat sighted Moby Dick again and go behind it. Moby Dick turns around and heads for Pickwick at full speed. Ahab now determined to strike it with all of his power. But as per the Fedallah's prophecy, he caught round the neck by the flying line and dragged under the sea. And this is how we can see the tragic end of Ahab, the person who has tried a lot to kill the whale, but he is not succeeded. He has been killed by the whale itself. The whole crew has been killed by the whale itself, and we can see over here in the slide how they have fighted with each other. You can see the whale, he was voracious, furious, double in anger with Ahab and the crew members who are going to kill that. And he has swallowed each and every one, he has killed each and every one, he has destroyed each and every one. The only person survived on the Pickford was Ismail, the person who is the narrator of the story. How Ismail has been saved? Then we can say quick. Once he had made a coffin for his own death, he was of the belief that if one day I am going to die, then my body should not be lowered into the sea, but instead it should be put in the coffin and then it should be lowered into the sea. So Quick had prepared his own coffin through a carpenter. This coffin has saved Ismail. We can see over here the contradiction, that coffin which symbolizes death, but it actually saves the life of Ismail. And at last, the ship Rachel and crew members of Rachel saved Ismail as she was searching for her own lost crew. This was the story of novel Moby Dick. Now let us move on the themes. It is like the limits of knowledge. A man cannot overcome the nature. A man cannot overcome the God. A man cannot overcome the supernatural power. Our knowledge is limited only towards something. That's why Ahab showed sometimes Moby Dick as the white whale, the white wall only. Okay, let us move on. The next one, that is deceptive of fate. We see over here that Ahab has struggled lots of the time. Ahab had struggled towards its death, but at last what he will get? He will get the death only. It is something like you cannot overcome your fate. We cannot overcome our destiny. And Ahab's destiny was death by Moby Dick, which he could not overcome throughout the play. Though he was more confident, struggler, we can say he was overconfident somehow also.